world where shadows linger just beyond the edges of the everyday, one podcast dares to open the cabinet of the unknown. The Shadow Frequency invites you into a realm of cryptids, conspiracies, hauntings, and mysteries that refuse to stay buried. Each episode, host Matt Wilson and producer Juniper Ravenwood sift through the eerie files of the unexplained, uncovering chilling encounters, listener stories, and whispers from the dark. Step closer, if you dare, and tune in to the Shadow Frequency.
All right, here we go again. Wow, this drawer feels even heavier tonight. Okay, what on earth is this? A glove. But it only has a thumb and 3 fingers. Who is this made for? A cartoon alien?
Please tell me you're not trying it on.
Tempting, but no. Okay, deeper in the drawer. Oh, here's that weird manuscript again. You remember the one in that language we couldn't make sense of last time? Well, maybe I should try reading the first line.
Juniper, stop! Don't! Just stop reading it.
Okay, wow. Did you see the monitors just flickered? That wasn't me, I swear.
I told you some things aren't meant to be read aloud. Put it back before we end up in the Twilight Zone for real.
Fine. Oh, but here it is, the actual episode folder. Episode 198, The Falcon Lake Incident, Canada, 1967.
Perfect. Let's leave the cursed manuscripts alone and stick to the UFOs tonight. Let's get into it.
You're tuned to the Shadow Frequency, where the veil between the living and the unknown grows thin. Strange whispers, hidden truths, and things best left in the dark await. Hosted by Matt Wilson, produced by Juniper Ravenwood, featuring Chris Beach. Let's step in to the shadows.
Welcome, listeners, to the Shadow Frequency, where the strange and unexplained hum just beneath the surface of our reality. Tonight, we're diving into a chilling case for 1967, deep in the wilds of Canada's Falcon Lake. A man, alone in the wilderness, encounters a craft not of this world and walks away scarred by its fiery touch. This is one of the most haunting, best documented UFO injury cases in history. The air feels heavier already, doesn't it? Matt, what's lurking in the shadows of this one?
Oh, Juniper, you've got my skin crawling already. This case is a real pulse pounder. Lights in the sky, burns that defy explanation, and a story that's been whispered about for decades. Let's crack it open.
I'm ready to get lost in the weirdness. Take it away, Matt.
Thanks, Juniper, for digging into that dusty file cabinet of the strange and pulling out tonight's case. Let's open the file on the Falcon Lake incident, a story that burns, quite literally, into the annals of the paranormal. Picture this, May 20th, 1967, Falcon Lake, Manitoba. A rugged stretch of Canadian wilderness where the trees stand silent and the air hums with secrets. Stefan Michalak, a 52-year-old geologist and amateur prospector, is out in the forest, chipping away at quartz veins, minding his own business. The sun's high, the birds are quiet, and then a strange hum cuts through the stillness. Not mechanical, not natural, just wrong. Stefan looks up, and there, hovering above the tree line, are 2 glowing cigar-shaped objects, pulsing with a light that seems to throb like a heartbeat. One of the crafts descends, landing on a rocky outcrop just 150 feet away. Stefan later described it as a saucer about 40 feet wide, with a dome on top and a metallic sheen that seemed to shift under the sunlight. He's curious. Any geologist would be, but cautious. He sketches it in his notebook, noting every detail, the smooth surface, the strange vents along its side, the faint hum that vibrates in his chest. For 30 minutes, he watches, transfixed, as the craft sits there silent but alive. Then things get stranger. A hatch opens, and a blast of warm air hits him. Voices, muffled, almost human, but not quite, drift from inside. Stefan calls out, thinking maybe it's some experimental military craft. "Hey, you guys need help?" No response. Just that eerie hum. He steps closer, too close, and that's when it happens. A grid of exhaust vents on the craft's side glows red hot, and a blast of searing air engulfs him. His shirt catches fire. His chest and stomach burn, and he's thrown back, gasping, as the craft lifts off, vanishing into the sky with a rush of heat and light. Stefan stumbles back to civilization, his body marked with a grid-like pattern of burns, perfectly spaced, like a checkerboard seared into his flesh. Doctors are baffled. The burns don't match any known chemical or radiation exposure. He's sick for weeks, vomiting, dizzy, haunted by the memory of that craft. And here's the kicker. He didn't just walk away with burns. He found his gloves melted, his compass spinning wildly, and later, investigators discovered radioactive soil at the landing site. This wasn't a hallucination. Something happened at Falcon Lake. The Canadian government took it seriously. Project Magnet, their UFO investigation program, got involved. They collected Stefan's burned clothing, analyzed the soil, and documented everything. Photos of his burns circulated, chilling in their precision. Witnesses in the area reported strange lights that same day. The case became a cornerstone of UFO lore, not just for its detail, but for the physical evidence left behind. What was that craft? Who or what was inside? And why did it leave Stefan scarred? A living testament to something beyond our understanding? As we sit here, listeners, imagine being Stefan, alone in that forest, the hum of the unknown vibrating through you. What would you do? Run or step closer, drawn to the mystery? That's the thing about Falcon Lake. It's not just a story, it's a wound, burned into history, still raw. Juniper, what's stirring in your mind after that?
Matt, I'm picturing those burns, that grid pattern. It's like the craft branded him.
Right.
I'm hooked. Terrified, but hooked. What's next?
Hold on tight, Juniper. Let's pass it to you for a quick break.
True, listeners, the Falcon Lake incident has me checking the skies tonight. That hum, those burns, it's the kind of story that sticks with you. Makes you wonder what's really out there. What are you thinking right now? Are you feeling the chill like I am? We've got more to unravel, so don't go anywhere. First, let's hear from our friend Chris Beach with a quick word.
Thanks, Juniper. And hey, don't forget, if you're enjoying the show, give us a like and subscribe. You can follow the Shadow Frequency on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and of course, all the major podcast directories. Want more? Head over to shadowfrequencypodcast.com, where you'll find every episode, our brand new Shadow blog with companion articles, and our merch store with some eerie cool swag. Plus, we'd love to hear from you. Leave us a voicemail right on the site and let us know where you're listening from. We might feature your message in an upcoming episode. And if you'd like to support the show, you can even buy us a coffee. Every bit helps keep the shadows whispering. Back to you, Juniper.
Thanks, Chris. All right, time to spark up the spectral cosmic message materializer. I'm flipping the switches now. And here's a peculiar note flickering through the ether.
Message retrieved from the void.
All right, let's rip it open and see what our listener has to say. Here's a message from Rebecca in Asheville, North Carolina. Since I met in Juniper, my name is Rebecca from Asheville, North Carolina, and I just wanted to say how much I looked forward to every new episode of the Shadow Frequency. I usually listen while I'm walking my dog in the evenings, and let me tell you, the show makes every shadow on the trail feel just a little spookier. I especially love the recent episodes on the MV Joyuta and the Indiana Bigfoot stories. The way you dig into the history and folklore keeps me hooked. But what I enjoy most is the back and forth between you two. It feels like I'm right there in the studio with you. Keep up the great work, and thanks for keeping the weird alive. Rebecca, Asheville, North Carolina. Rebecca, you're making me jealous of those spooky evening walks. Thanks for the love, and I bet your dog's got some stories of its own. Want to share your own strange tales? You can drop us a line at shadowpodcast@protonmail.com. All right, Matt, take us back to Falcon Lake for the second half.
All right, listeners, let's dive back into the Falcon Lake incident, where Stefan Michalak's encounter with a UFO left him burned and the world wondering. We left off with Stefan stumbling out of the wilderness, his body marked with those eerie grid-like burns. His story backed by physical evidence, melted gloves, radioactive soil, and a compass gone haywire. But let's dig deeper into the shadows of this case. After the incident, Stefan became a reluctant figure in UFO lore. He wasn't chasing fame. He was a quiet, practical man, a geologist who valued facts. Yet his story never wavered. He described the craft in meticulous detail, 40 feet across, 10 feet high, with a dome and those fateful exhaust vents. He even sketched it, and those drawings still circulate, haunting in their precision. The burns on his chest and stomach were photographed, showing a perfect grid of circular marks, like something pressed into him with unnatural accuracy. Doctors noted the burns caused nausea, dizziness, and weight loss, symptoms that lingered for months. But it's the aftermath that deepens the mystery. Investigators from the Royal Canadian Mounted Police and the Canadian Air Force visited the site. They found the landing spot, a cleared circle of earth, scorched and radioactive. Samples of soil and metal fragments tested positive for low-level radiation, defying easy explanation. Stefan's burned shirt and gloves were analyzed, showing no known chemical or fuel that could have caused the damage. Even more chilling, Stefan returned to the site a year later and found a piece of melted metal embedded in the rock, as if the craft had left a piece of itself behind. Now, of course, let's pause for a moment of skepticism, because not everyone buys the extraterrestrial angle. Could Stefan have stumbled across a secret military test? The Cold War was in full swing, and Canada wasn't immune to experimental aircraft. Some have suggested a prototype gone wrong, its exhaust or fuel causing the burns. The radiation at the site could point to a terrestrial experiment, not a visitor from the stars. But here's the rub. No known aircraft from 1967 matches Stefan's description, and military records from both Canada and the U.S. show no test in that area. Plus the burns, those precise grid-like marks, don't align with any conventional technology. So, we're left with the paranormal. Witnesses in Falcon Lake reported strange lights that same day, and other UFO sightings cropped up across Manitoba that spring. The voices Stefan heard, muffled, almost human, hint at a presence inside the craft. Were they communicating, observing, or something else entirely? The case remains open, unresolved, a scar on the landscape of UFO history. Stefan Michalak carried those burns to his grave, never retracting his story, never seeking the spotlight. As we sit here, listeners, the Falcon Lake incident lingers like a low hum in the night. What was that craft? Why did it mark Stefan and then vanish? And what else might be watching from the shadows of our skies? Some cases leave more questions than answers, and this one's got claws. Juniper, what's hitting you after that?
Matt, those burns are freaking me out, but I'm wondering if that military angle holds any water.
Yeah.
Still, the way you tell it, I'm not sleeping easy tonight. Shall we wrap it up?
Over to you, Juniper, for the final word.
What a ride, listeners. The Falcon Lake incident, UFOs, burns, and a mystery that still hums in the dark. Thanks for joining us on this eerie journey through the shadow frequency. If you've got a strange tale of your own, send it to shadowpodcast@protonmail.com. Also, you can visit our website, shadowfrequencypodcast.com. You can find our 24-hour streaming Shadow Frequency Radio, and you can follow along on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Rumble for more creepy goodness. Join us next time for another dive into the unknown. Matt, you want to say goodnight?
Sleep tight, if you can.
Good night, listeners. Stay curious and watch the skies.
This episode was produced with a commitment to exploring the unexplained while grounding our discussion in documented discoveries. All interpretations are speculative and intended for entertainment purposes.